Hello, my name is John Lindsay. I'm co-chair of the Minnow Lake Community Action Network. Bob King is my other co-chair. For the past 3 years, we've been looking at establishing more uniform speed limits in the Minnow Lake area, specifically the area surrounding the lake, about 1 kilometer in each direction from the intersection where we're located right now, which is the intersection of Bancroft Drive and Bellevue. Now, this particular intersection is a very busy intersection, as you can see, and this whole area is very busy, not only with vehicular traffic, but also with pedestrians, bicycle traffic with our new bicycle lanes here for the past 2 years, and of course now with skateboarders. We'll be explaining just what we're looking at here in this particular area, and I think what really needs to be taken into consideration is the fact that there's many curves, it's a hilly area, and it's because of the fact that there's a fair amount of traffic and because of the fact that it's used extensively by pedestrians, bicycle riders, skateboarders, and others, that really a much more controlled atmosphere on these streets would be desirable. The areas we'll be looking at, including on both Bancroft Drive, Bellevue, and a section of Howey, include an area that would be coming off just off of Howey, just before you get onto Bellevue, and we'll be looking at that on the map. From that particular area there, going into a 40-kilometer zone. Now, from the other direction, coming down to this intersection, coming down really from the east, we would be looking at around Manor Road, coming down another 40 kilometers zone to this intersection of about 1 kilometer in length. And then going up here, up we mean towards the Kingsway, through this area right here, which you can see, this is a shopping area here. We have cars coming in and out of this shopping complex, a church right here, and immediately beyond that we have, of course, the Carmichael complex with the tennis courts, the baseball fields, the skateboard park, the arena itself, of course, and directly opposite we have the Bancroft beach area along Minnow Lake, and also another beach area along Bellevue. When you're looking at going off on this direction down Bellevue from this intersection here past the shopping center, and immediately another curve coming up there. And of course, when you drive this particular area, you're always into a curve situation. Going up now, as we swing back to take another look up Bancroft Drive, going up towards the Kingsway, we're recommending that around the Dundas Street area, that would be the area where the 40-kilometer zone would end. Now, at the present time, the 40-kilometer zone extends up to the Kingsway in a relatively straight section. We don't feel that that needs to be 40 kilometers. That would be much better as a 50-kilometer zone. We understand that when traffic people look at road conditions, they try to establish the speed limits pretty close to what actually motor vehicles travel at. And throughout this area here, we notice that most motor vehicles do travel somewhere between 40 and 50 kilometers an hour. Therefore, a 40-kilometer zone makes a lot of sense. That area of road from Dundas Street right up to the Kingsway is relatively straight, very, very difficult to keep to a 40-kilometer, and we really recommend that that should go back up to 50 kilometers. So what we're really looking at here, and what we want the city to support us with, is a more uniform and a more consistent speed limit throughout the entire area. We'll be taking a look at this map a little later on. As you can see here, the yellow section we're looking at, which is strictly the very curvy section, and some hills in this particular area too, with the recreational facilities, with the shopping areas, with the heavy use of pedestrians, with kids on bikes, with the skateboarders. Really, we have basically a recreational area with the park areas. We have hilltop parks, we have beach parks. around Minnow Lake. We have Minnow Lake Place, we have the Carmichael Community Center, we have the arena, we now have a beach volleyball court and a new park at Minnow Lake Place. So really this whole area really lends itself to a more controlled, a more, as I believe the traffic people use, a more traffic calming situation in this really immediate neighborhood area. So that's what the Community Action Network over the past 3 years has discussed this. We recommend it very strongly to the city to look at this. We already do have a 40-kilometer section which ends, incidentally, and you'll see that in the tape coming up, right at the skateboard park. So really this should be extended right down here to this intersection and then going 1 kilometer in each direction from this particular intersection, which would establish a more uniform, a more rationalized speed limit atmosphere regime in this particular area. So in just a moment we'll be taking a closer look at this map. Then we'll be looking at the route itself. We'll be looking at the many signs that are on the route, the many turns signs, the many hidden intersection signs, the many speed limit signs, the many indicators on many of the curves to reduce speed. All this needs to be rationalized. It's developed over a number of years and road construction has taken place. We understand what has happened over these years. Now it's time to take a closer look at it to make it more uniform and overall to make it a neighborhood that is not only for our own use, but for those who are passing through, and to establish above all, especially due to the fact that we have so many recreational facilities and we do have the bike lanes here, is to make sure that above all it's safe, and so that we can look at any situations that might arise and say, yes, we do have a 40-kilometer zone through that hilly section, through that very busy section there, and therefore motorists know that they do have to watch out and they do have to be more responsible. Thank you very much as we continue with this presentation from the Minnow Lake Community Action Network to the city, and we certainly urge your support. Thank you very much. So here we are now taking a little closer look at our map. And the yellow section is the section that we're recommending being the 40-kilometer-per-hour section. It's approximately 1 kilometer in each direction from the intersection we were just at there, which is the intersection, of course, Bancroft and Bellevue. Now, coming in from 2nd Avenue, the 40-kilometer-an-hour section would start just about Manor Road, where incidentally, and you'll see it coming up on the rest of the video, there already is a sign indicating winding road and 40 kilometers per hour. So continue on through here, which is still quite windy and also a bit hilly as well too. Of course, then there's the main signal intersection here, and then coming off going this direction again, windy section, and we'll show the signs along this section here. So really when we're down in this section down here, right about here between Hillside and Downing Avenue would be where we'd indicate 40 kilometers, and there's this really sharp turn here which I believe is signed now at about 25 kilometers per hour. And throughout this section that we'd have and are recommending, and probably on the bike signs to put 40 kilometer an hour signs along here too. Now, when we go along this section here, coming from the intersection up past the Carmichael Arena, as you notice on this section down here, we have the Carmichael Community Center down here. We have the hotels down here. We have a number of businesses. This is the sort of shopping area up around here, the medical clinic up around here. So businesses along this section here, then the Carmichael Arena down here with the new skateboard park. Now, at present, we have a 40 kilometer an hour zone all the way from the Kingsway, all the way down here to just where the skateboard park is. So obviously, you know, it would make sense to extend that down through here. But we do feel that probably this 40 kilometer an hour zone should start right about Dundas Street, up around here. Nice sign here, and then more warning signs for that very somewhat controversial curve there next to Minnow Lake Place. This makes far more sense because this is a really straight section here. It would be much better to return that to 50 kilometers an hour. Very, very difficult for people to maintain the 40 kilometer an hour, or even 50 kilometer an hour limit along here. In through this section, not bad at all. We would really still recommend, however, that on coming off of this stoplight here, that signage indicating the 40 kilometer an hour, because the only spot really we have people who are going anywhere above the speed limit on a general basis is right off this intersection, going in this direction north and going this direction west, coming off it's going downhill in both cases, and you know, two signs in that particular area indicating the new 40 kilometer an hour limit would probably could reinforce the limit in that particular area. If the police were looking for a spot to replace their current speed trap section up here, they could probably pick up either one of these two sections down here, maybe along this section here. But basically we're looking at this particular area here outlined in the yellow as the 40 kilometer an hour zone, and we'll be going out now and taking some actual shots of this area, showing the curves, the signs that are in place now, also the facilities along this route. The other sections of the area, sections of Bancroft Drive, Howey, are fine at 50 kilometers an hour. It's just this section, because of the nature of the topography, really, the fact that curves and the hills, and generally we've noticed in other communities that sections of a road like this would be labeled as you know, hilly area or curvy area ahead for so many kilometers and that sort of thing. So that's our recommendation. Let's go and take a look at the actual site. We are on Howey Drive now, looking towards, actually that's looking towards downtown. So we we're at the corner of Hillside, looking downtown. So actually if we take a swing around here now, and we can see that if we look down here towards Bellevue, we can see this is the section really where we enter the curvy section, the section we're recommending for the 40 kilometers per hour. So this area right here, where this bicycle sign is here, we leave this up to the experts of where would be the best spot to start the 40 kilometer an hour zone. This is Perry Crescent here. Would it be this section here, or across from us here on Hillside, or perhaps down a little further near Downing? Good question, but as you can see, here we go, definitely into the curve here and around, and we'll go down there and take a look shortly. Busy as you can see, and you can see the buses can get by the traffic can get around the bus. Okay, coming off the inside of that curve we were looking at, and continuing down towards the intersection here of Bellevue and Howey, and as we can see here, we have a 25 kilometer per hour sign right in this area here, and this is the corner here, very, very sharp corner, where Howey turns into Bellevue. What we have here is the intersection of Downing with Howey, and that's what we showed you on the other map there with the yellow markings, and it would appear when you're actually on site here that it would make much more sense to have the 40 kilometer an hour zone start before that sign there, which is the 25 kilometer an hour indicator for this corner here, the Bellevue and Howey corner. That's something I think that our experts do have to take a look at. So here we are looking at the intersection. This is the Bellevue-Howey intersection, and looking down towards the Bancroft-Bellevue intersection. This is along Bellevue now, and you can see along here we have a number of signs. Kids sign. This is where the Carmichael Community Center is, and the playground in there. And then we have another sign here indicating the next curve coming up, another 25-kilometer-an-hour warning sign. And right here we have a hidden intersection sign, a flashing sign here. So, and to turn here we have the hotel, we have a couple of other businesses there. You can see the cars coming around the next turn up there next to the hotel. Pretty busy, pretty curvy, a little hill besides. And of course the route used extensively by bicycle riders. This is looking back towards that intersection once again as we will continue on. Just wanted to get a shot of a bicycle rider. Okay, here we are back on the route again. This is the corner here with a flashing light. And we're looking once again towards downtown. This is the hotel here. And we swing around and we can see here that we're once again into more curves. This is to this side here, it's the lake. And here we have more curves here going up towards the intersection with Bancroft and Bellevue. There's another shot here. This is the section here next to the lake. As you can see, we have kids down here fishing at the lake. So this is the Minnow Lake here, and across the other side we see the Bancroft Drive. We'll be going down there shortly. The shopping area right here, and the road right here. Swinging back and looking at this section up here past the hotel and the curves up here. So you can see this whole section here is fairly curvy. The indicator for the controlled intersection up here as we round this curve past the church here and heading up to the intersection. Just a shot of the Minnow Lake Fountain. Behind it, the Waterview apartment complex. And the kids, bikes. Better luck next time. Now we're going in the other direction now. We're going to go down to, this is the intersection with 2nd Avenue and Bancroft Drive. And so we're going to be going from this intersection and turning around and heading towards the intersection of Bellevue and Bancroft. Now, as we head up here, we see, of course, a curve and the sign here indicating 40 kilometers per hour and winding road, obviously, sign. So this is where we think that probably, you know, coming from this direction, going downtown, coming through from 2nd Avenue, as you remember the map, heading on downtown, this would be the logical spot to establish the 40 kilometer an hour zone, heading downtown towards the next traffic light and the intersection of Bancroft Drive and Bellevue. We'll go up now and take a look around this next corner. Once again, this is just about opposite the intersection of Manor and Bancroft, where we have this windy road, curvy, and the 40 kilometer sign looking towards downtown. We really do have quite a little snaky curve here. And here come the kids again. There they go, up around the corner. And here we are up around the corner and heading on down, as you can see, towards another corner. This is, you can see David's Garage up ahead. And as we just swing around here, and here we're looking towards the other direction, down towards 2nd Avenue. But our purpose is to continue moving on down towards the intersection of Bellevue and Bancroft. Here we are looking down from that last turn, and you can see the sign over here indicating the turn. And then through here to the next turn, and this is the turn and leading to the hill going down to the intersection Bancroft and Bellevue. You notice that just before the hill here we have a curvy road sign and also the indicator for the signaled intersection as well too. And here we are, winding road sign again, looking down at the intersection past the church. The juvenile boys' home is off to your left. This is the little shopping area down here, and this is, of course, is the controlled intersection corner of Bancroft and Bellevue, dropping down from a sort of a little hill here and then around the corner in both directions. Fella's off to the skateboard park, which is just around the corner on Bancroft. This is, we're looking at the traffic down here now moving down onto Bellevue. This is really when the 40-kilometer zone gets established, is really about here. You need a sign indicating the 40-kilometer-an-hour zone. People coming off the stoplight have a tendency to speed up. We're now looking from the intersection down towards the skateboard park, the Carmichael complex, and of course that first turn down there, just going around the corner, going to the skateboard park, and the turns that follow from that area. But let's just swing around here just for a second, going past that church there quickly, and looking at this up here. This is a entrance to this to the shopping area here, with two entrances very close to the actual intersection here. And there's the intersection here, Bellevue and Bancroft. We're looking at the shopping area here and the intersection, with traffic coming out on a fairly regular basis, and another argument for having the speed limit reduced in this particular area. As we look up once again past the church and over towards the Carmichael Community Center, and also the park along the lake, or not the Carmichael Community Center, the Carmichael Arena. Carmichael Community Center is on the other side of the lake, as is the Minnow Lake place. Here we are looking up again towards the intersection, and there's the shopping area there with the two entrances once again. And coming back down, going around this corner, we come onto the lake again, and this is the park that goes all the way along the edge of the lake and around this curve, and as you can see, looking up towards the next curve and the entrance to the Waterview Apartments. Off to the right here, of course, is the baseball field and the tennis courts and the arena, and we'll take a look shortly at the skateboard park. I know you can hardly wait. Oh, there we are, skateboard park. It's around supper time now, so it's not that busy. It will be later on, and of course tomorrow, Saturday. And this is directly in front, of course, of the Carmichael Arena. And interestingly enough, this is exactly the spot where the 40-kilometer limit now in effect ends and the 50 begins, right at the skateboard park. But the skateboard park was put in after the speed limit was put in. So in any event, here we have the entrance to the arena. A sign here indicating the Hilltop Parks, Blueberry Hill and the Oak Forest in this area. Also the Waterview Apartments right here, and the entrance to the Waterview Apartments, and another section of curved road, which is heading up towards Minnow Lake Place. And if we move along a little bit here, we can see, if we look across here past the pedestrians and some of the kids down here, we can see this is the Bancroft Waterfront Park. And that's Minnow Lake Place over here with the new park. So, okay, they said they want to take a picture of them doing their thing here. And away they go. We have an amazing number of those who are on bikes, not only skateboards, but the bike guys are out in full force as well too. Oh, and bike girls. Sorry, there's a bike girl. And a little picturesque shot of the fountain and the kids. Heading up the street here, as we can see again that we have curvy road signs, and also in this section here it already is 40 kilometers an hour going up towards Minnow Lake Place. We're in the car now and we're traveling around the turn here, which the traffic sergeant said is maybe sometimes unsafe at any speed. It's in front of Minnow Lake Place. All this is 40 kilometers an hour, and what we're recommending is that when we get up through here, you can notice the road straightens out and goes straight through. And this is the section here we're recommending be turned back to 50 kilometers an hour, starting at just about here, just behind the bus. This is a very straight section of Bancroft coming off the Kingsway, and as it goes down here, you can see very straight. It certainly, makes it difficult for drivers to stay at the 40 kilometer an hour. So really, just before we get to the curve there, and at this spot here where we have the 40 kilometer an hour sign and that curvy sign, that's probably where the 40 kilometer an hour speed limit should start, and leave this other section at 50. This is also a particular favorite spot for our local men in blue to stop and pick up those coming onto this particular section and picking them off going probably around 60 or above kilometers an hour, because it is a fairly straight section. As traffic people have told me over the years, I think I mentioned before, that cars pretty much travel at the speed they can depending on the road, and that's why in the other section where you do have the curves that people are generally going much slower, curvy and hilly, where in this section here they're generally going to travel according to the road conditions. There's another interesting aspect on this too. We'll show you in just a moment. If you're pulling out of Tim Hortons here, as this car just did, and heading down Bancroft, do you see a 40 kilometer an hour sign? No, there's a bike sign over there. Where's the 40 kilometer an hour sign? My golly, there it is up there. There's where the 40 kilometer an hour sign begins. So, if you're coming out of the Tim Hortons here and heading down Bancroft, you don't even see that 40 kilometer an hour sign. You don't actually see the 40 kilometer an hour sign until, well, actually the police have picked you up before then. Here's the 40 kilometer an hour sign way down here.